Why Belle Delphine's career died? Because her porn was terrible. Don't ask me how I know. Okay?
So I'm not going to be on the internet forever. And I think there will come a time, I think, where I will just probably do everything, and then I think I'll leave.
Belle Delphine had the entire internet wrapped around her finger. Viewer Sims, other YouTubers, it didn't even matter if you liked her or not, everyone was always curious as to what she might do next. However, between the months of December 2020 and March 2021, the curiosity seemed to dry up completely. People stopped Googling.
You know why? Because there's an endless fucking ocean of e-girls on the planet, okay? If you're wondering, wait, why is one specific e-girl fucking losing all this interest? Because there's like 200 more born every fucking day. And I don't mean like literally born. I mean like there are people between their 20s and 30s that are like, hey, I want to fucking start doing this shit too, right? And then they just start doing it. So yeah, no, that's kind of why. I think at least. That's what I would assume.
Her name, her army of Twitter followers departed in droves, her Patreon supporters dropped by 90%, she's rarely talked about on YouTube unless it's someone investigating what on earth ended up happening to her, and as at the time of posting this video, she hasn't been active on OnlyFans in almost a month.
Is it possible that maybe she just got enough money that she said she didn't have to do this shit anymore, so she just decided to like fuck off or something?
Which is pretty insane considering she used to post up to 40 photos per day.
On my OnlyFans, I'm posting about 40 pictures a day.
Oh,
and,
wow. Holy crap.
She's British? What the fuck?
As well. I try and be as active as I possibly can.
Belle Delphine's career kind of died, and interestingly, there's so many different reasons for it. However, we have to
She's Australian? What the fuck? I didn't know that.
Start simple in order to understand the whole picture. So we'll begin with this. Belle Delphine removed two core components from her content that have been keeping her persona interesting.
Mystery and intrigue. I feel like as soon as she showed, I don't know, there's a difference between having like almost showing your boobs and then showing them. Once they're out, once the cat has been released from the bag, from the satchel, there is no returning it to the satchel. And I think she released them, and then people were like, okay, that's it. It's been figured out. I think that's valid. It's very valid.
Mystery and intrigue. Belle Delphine discussed on the H3 podcast that one of her main strategies for standing out as unique was that she'd mix her cutesy image with the strangest, most unrelated topics to build curiosity around her character.
I've got the taking cute pictures and stuff, but that's not gonna really do it. So I decided to do weird things in the combination as well as being sexy. And I'll be like cracking an egg in my mouth or something. And then people will share that, be like, this girl's so weird and quirky or whatever.
This would show in videos such as Meet My Best Friend, in which Belle Delphine would dress somewhat provocatively and play with an octopus throughout the entire video. While certainly being a little bit on the weird side, this video worked exactly as intended because, as you might expect, many other influencers went to the effort of talking about the weirdness on their own channels.
Meet my best friends. Some of you have referred to this video as disturbing.
In addition to this, Belle Delphine would become known for her infamous Ahegao face,
I think the first thing that went big was the Ahegao face,
which also perfected the mix of mystery, intrigue, and attractiveness, while helping her to stand out as unique after many attributed this face specifically to Belle Delphine. All of this seems like common knowledge now that she's come into podcasts and explained her story, but in the beginning, Belle was completely silent. She withheld as much information as possible, so when you were unavoidably introduced to her content with nothing more than this photo on your Twitter timeline, intrigue was almost guaranteed. But to keep this intrigue and conversation fresh, Belle Delphine began to escalate her publicity stunts, making them weirder and weirder in order to maintain the public's interest.
It's time to get your gamer girl bathwater.
Belle Delphine's next stunt was so infamous and hilariously successful that talking about it is almost a waste of time.
And then it came to me and it was like, bathwater, like bottled bathwater.
In July 2019, Belle announced that she would be selling her bathwater for $30 per jar, which hilariously sold out in less than 2 days.
You know, a part of me would want that for the fact that, like, you'd be like, hey, look, I remember when there was this weird phase in the fucking internet where there was a girl selling her bath water. Like, I have one of the containers. I don't give a fuck about the water, but the container, the novelty of it, exactly, where you can say, like, hey, look, I had this. Remember that one girl that everyone was crazy about? Yo, she sold bath water. I have one of the plastic containers. I wonder if they have any, like, on eBay or something. I'd love to get one.
YouTubers from every corner of the website joined in on the madness, each of which selling a little bit of their soul for a slight uptick in views after
What the fuck? Yo, you drank that shit? I mean, I don't know if a disease can survive being in a fucking, like, container and then, like, sitting there for weeks on end, but Jesus, still kind of...
They inevitably drank the bathwater on camera. On the print media side of things, the stupidity of the campaign prompted news article after news article, some of which even going so far as to claim that the
Did people contract herpes? Oh, fuck no.
bathwater gave an STD to over 50 people.
There was that fake article about the herpes or whatever that spread.
However, these negative articles
Also, herpes can't spread through water. It's through bodily fluids.
were still a massive positive for the growth of her overall image.
Even though they're bad, are still kind of good.
It's good
Is this Modern Warfare 2?
press. It's always good press.
Yeah.
By the end of the bathwater campaign, Belle Delphine had well and truly catapulted herself into the mainstream. However, in the process, there were obviously going to be setbacks. By this point in time, Belle Delphine had built what many referred to as an army of simps, who had seemingly fallen.
It's funny how that word fucking died, huh? How it had its fucking rise and then it fell just as quick, where everyone and their mother was using that stupid fucking term, and then everyone just stopped.
In love with Belle Delphine and
Crazy.
her anime image. To cater to and maintain the interest of this army of simps, she would post a photo to her Instagram stating that if she got 1 million likes on the picture, she would create a P-Hub account and begin posting videos to it. The photo smashed the record after totaling well over 2 million likes, and as a result, Belle Delphine would fulfill her promise by creating the account. However, unexpectedly, the content that she would eventually post to the lewd website ended up
Lost
being
its
nothing
meaning
more
from being
than a
overused.
publicity stunt. Her videos would feature extremely dirty usernames such as PewDiePie goes all the way inside Belle Delphine. However, upon clicking on the video, you would see nothing more than Belle Delphine
Can you watch? Look at that. Yeah, it's fucking stupid. It just became like, it became the fucking term for like just everything. Oh, hey, this person looks nice. Oh, you're fucking simping. It's like, what? Fucking morons.
simply eating a photo of PewDiePie while remaining fully clothed. Many of her viewers found these videos to be hilarious, even praising her for how intelligent the ideas had been. However, those who expected actual adult content were
Grandpa Richards, disappointed. Not very cool, Belle. That's what I'm saying. Oh, shame on you for disappointing Grandpa Richards.
weren't all that happy. Feeling as though they had been misled by Belle Delphine, many of her followers hatched a plan to mass report Belle Delphine's Instagram account with the goal of getting her account taken down, which they would ultimately succeed in achieving.
Suddenly there's huge waves of people trying to like report my stuff and then like or spam. I just noticed it comes in waves, so I guess that time the wave won.
After her Instagram
Wow,
account had been
I didn't
banned
know
and it was
that.
becoming clear that she wasn't going to get it back, there was a clear decline in her motivation and social media posting frequency. She suddenly stopped uploading to Patreon, she took down her merch site, all while her YouTube became completely inactive. This short break
Damn, but why? I don't understand. Like, why go so far over the Instagram account? Just...
would last for approximately 3 months, at which point many were questioning whether or not she would even return. However, there was still so much mystery surrounding her persona. She had to return, right? Well, yes, she would. But what came as a surprise to many was the method by which she would return, simultaneously shocking the internet and creating more hype around her name than ever before.
mugshot.
On the 8th of October 2019,
I remember
Belle
that.
Delphine would make a
I
post
do
to her
remember
Twitter
seeing
page
this.
stating, "I got arrested, LOL," alongside a Metropolitan Police mugshot. Following this, there would be a tweet clarifying the mugshot which stated, "I swear to God this girl came to my party and stole my hamster. I have no idea why or who TF does that. I spray painted the F out of her car and got arrested. At least I got my hamster back," accompanied by 4 photos of the apparent stunt. Unsurprisingly, Twitter and YouTube completely gobbled the story up, with the main point of discussion being whether or not the whole thing was fake. However, they didn't get the answer immediately, as after making this Twitter post about being arrested, Belle Delphine would completely disappear for a period of 8 whole months. The advantage that Belle Delphine had.
Well, you could be the most popular person on earth, but if you fucking disappear for 8 months, then yeah, people are gonna like it's gonna start to fade a little, you know? Yeah, absolutely. I can't. How am I supposed to fucking? Yeah, no, that makes sense to me. That makes sense. But
throughout this break was that there was still so many unanswered questions. She hadn't clarified if the arrest was real or fake. She'd barely shared anything about her personal life. Plus, she was yet to post any actual nudity or adult content for her army of simps. The fact that she withheld these elements created anticipation for her return. People wanted to know where she was. The story of Belle Delphine felt like it was yet to come to an end. Videos investigating her disappearance during her hiatus, such as this mega viral hit by Jabroni, would gain upwards of 8 million views in the space of less than a month, showing that people were still well and truly
That's crazy.
Invested in the Belle
Incredible.
Delphine saga.
How
Unsurprisingly,
could this
after
possibly
her
fail?
8-month extended break had come to an end, Belle Delphine's return was legendary. Her video, simply titled "I'm Back," gained 20 million views within only a week, and it was almost as if she had never left in the first place.
Oh, I remember
However, upon
the
her
song.
return, Belle Delphine began to make some of the many mistakes which would ultimately result in the decline of her career. Between the months of October 2020 and December 2020, approximately 4 months after returning from her hiatus, she began to appear on podcast after podcast revealing everything there was to know about Belle Delphine.
Ah, so she started fucking like talking about herself and shit, and then people were like, "Oh, okay, well then the mystery's over with." Like she's not all like, "Ooh, who's this person?" kind of thing. Ah, I see.
Welcome, Belle Delphine, to the show! Yay!
Prior to this, Belle Delphine had been excellent at keeping her life ambiguous and mysterious, only ever revealing bite-sized pieces of information regarding her actions, which ensured that the audience was always paying attention, as if they were to stop following for even a second, they might miss some vital update on what she was doing.
I heard you don't really do podcasts or interviews.
Yeah, well, I've been trying to go through them recently because I was cold turkey. I didn't do anything until recently.
Belle Delphine saw massive short-term exposure for these podcast appearances. However, in the process, she would almost completely eradicate all of the mystery, which had been guaranteeing a constant level of intrigue. Belle Delphine revealed that most of her publicity stunts were fake.
Is it true or is it fake? It was fake.
She talked about her upbringing and reasoning for being this character in the first place.
See, I come from a very conservative family, like super religious.
And most notably, Belle Delphine even revealed that she had a boyfriend for the entirety of her social media journey.
Okay, I feel like that might have fucked her. I feel like that might have been. Everyone's like, "Oh wait, what could it have been?" It was probably that. It wouldn't shock me if that's what it was. The fact that she revealed that she had a boyfriend. You have to keep in mind, there's a lot of people out there that think they might actually have a shot with someone. Like, if they support them enough. For some reason.
Who's the guy?
It's my boyfriend.
How long has that relationship been going on for?
The whole time I've been Belle Delphine.
How long is that?
3 years.
But while Belle Delphine had decided to give up the mystery surrounding her character, there was still one thing keeping her fans invested in the story of Belle Delphine. The fact that she hadn't posted any nudity or adult content, which her army of simps was still waiting to see. However, by late 2020, it seemed as though this was also about to change. On the 27th of November 2020, Belle Delphine would make a Twitter post stating, "I can't believe I'm ending 2020 with a bang," indicating that she was going to post an adult video toward the end of the year. On the Cold Ones podcast in October 2020, Belle Delphine...
Yeah, I remember. Everybody on Twitter was talking about how fucking bad it was. I remember very specifically.
Perfectly explained why posting genuine adult content would be so successful for her.
I'm right on the cusp, right? I've never shown real nudity. And then going from that to like full on, I think someone wants to see it.
But in a state of infinite wisdom, Maximofo seemed far more lucid of the long-term dangers.
You can't undo it though, because it's like the machine you've built now is obviously extremely successful and profitable, and it's like once you cross that boundary, you don't want to sell it for too less than what you're worth. Like you don't want to get scammed.
Now this was certainly correct. Belle Delphine had built this perfect structure that basically guaranteed a consistent...
Why do you think strip clubs continue to be successful? Because at the end of the day, even though there are prostitutes, there's that fucking feeling of like, oh, I can see somebody in a bikini, but I'm not fully seeing them. There's like that, there's still that, ooh, like, holy shit, I wonder what's underneath, even though like everybody knows what's underneath, right? If not, why the fuck are strip clubs popular still? Why are they still like successful as hell?
Returning audience. However, this isn't to say that Belle's opinion wasn't also correct. She knew that she was going to make some serious money off the stunt. In the lead up to releasing her first adult scene on the Impulsive podcast, Belle Delphine discussed how much money she was making on her OnlyFans.
The main people on OnlyFans are roughly earning the same, I think, from what I know, and at the moment it's like $1 million a month.
However, as the old saying goes, there's no such thing as free money, and the price paid by Belle Delphine for such an insane level of income was that she had to simultaneously sabotage one of the only things keeping her simp army paying attention, the fact that she hadn't done adult content. The adult videos would go live on her OnlyFans, and all seemed well initially. However, 2 months later, in February 2021, approximately 9 months ago, Belle would completely disappear from the internet once again. Now, it's possible that Belle simply got the bag and left the internet with her newly found fortune. However, unless Belle Delphine is secretly an extraterrestrial, human beings don't really work this way. Once we find something that works, we won't abandon it until it's no longer working. What's more likely is that she's trying to deliberately build mystery around her disappearance, which is exactly what happened perfectly with her previous break. She's well aware of the benefits in disappearing without saying anything. When asked about her previous 8-month hiatus, she thought taking a long break was going to end her career, but she was surprised to find everyone waiting for her when she got back.
My 1 year break, for example, it didn't, it was stressful at first because I thought my career was wrecked. But aside from that, I actually had a really good year.
Without a doubt, Belle Delphine thinks that this will be the case when she returns from her current break. Her previous hiatus.
Yeah, she hasn't tweeted in a while. Since March 16th, 2020.
Just lured her into a false sense of security, telling her that she can take time off and her audience will always be waiting for her when she returns. However, this time around things will be much different. As mentioned earlier in the video, during her first hiatus, there was still so much mystery, so many unanswered questions surrounding the Belle Delphine story, and therefore her return was anticipated. Was the arrest story fake? How did this character come about? Did she have a boyfriend? How does this persona affect her personal life? People actually wanted to know more. 8 million people objectively wanted an exact update on what she was up to. However, this time around, all of the questions that kept the story interesting have been answered. She went on numerous podcasts over a 2-month period, explained her strategy around everything, then posted her highly anticipated adult content, and as a result, the story feels concluded. There's nothing else to look forward to, and therefore there's no reason to care about what she's up to. Videos investigating what happened to Belle Delphine on her current hiatus have gained less than 10% of the views compared to—
What the fuck is this thumbnail? What is this? Is that something she posted, or did they Photoshop that shit? The fuck?
to those posing a similar question on her previous break. She revealed everything in exchange for a surge in short-term revenue, however the long-term consequences are already starting to reveal themselves.
That is the most abrupt fucking YouTube ending I've seen in my life. Okay. Belle